Welcome to this explainer. I am super thrilled you're joining me today because we are tearing into one of the most debated and fascinating companies in the market right now, ITC. If you could see me right now, I'm literally talking with my hands, trying to physically frame just how massive this conglomerate truly is. We are doing a deep analysis today, going way past the surface level stock price and diving straight into their immense scale, their current financial trajectory, and their bold pivot for the future. So here is our game plan for today. We're going to cover 1, the current stock snapshot, 2, peek inside the financial numbers, 3, look at who actually owns ITC stock, 4, their big push beyond tobacco, and 5, what the analysts are saying right now. Let's get right into it. Kicking things off with Section 1, the current stock snapshot. Over 3,56,000 crores. That staggering figure is their current market capitalization as of today, July 28, 2026. Let's just pause on that number for a second to really establish the scale here. A company this immense doesn't move like a nimble tech startup. It moves like a massive cargo ship, slow to turn, but carrying unbelievable momentum. And right now, there's this really fascinating tension playing out in the markets. In the short term, it's been a rough ride. The stock took a 30% hit over the last 12 months. But zoom out to a 5-year horizon, and you see highly resilient long-term gains of over 36%. So here's the great ITC debate. Are folks overreacting to short-term hiccups, or are they patiently holding on for that long-term compounding growth? Let's ground that debate in some hard numbers. It's trading around 284 rupees. The PE ratio sits at 17.24. But honestly, one metric screams a lot louder than the rest, and that's the highly attractive 5.09% dividend yield. For a giant of this magnitude to offer a yield north of 5% is a massive deal. It's basically getting paid to wait, giving you steady cash flow that keeps so many retail investors hooked while they sit around waiting for capital appreciation. Moving right along to Section 2, inside the financial numbers. Now check out this totally wild divergence in their quarterly numbers. Back in December 2025, total income was over 20,600 crores. Fast forward to March 2026, and that top-line income actually dropped to 18,409 crores. Normally, seeing revenue drop like that triggers absolute alarm bells. But the bottom line tells a completely different story. Profit after tax actually went up, hitting 5,387 crores by March. How on earth does a company bring in less revenue but walk away with more sheer profit? Well, the secret sauce is right here. A massive 38.36% EBIT margin for March 2026. Earnings before interest and taxes basically tells us how efficiently the core engine is running. And let me tell you, pushing nearly a 40% margin in a multi-sector conglomerate is an unbelievable sign of operational efficiency. It means they are squeezing more profit out of every single rupee that comes through the door. And here is exactly how they protect those margins. Ruthless expense management. For the year ending March 2026, they kept interest expenses to less than 1% of operating revenues. They are barely losing a dime to debt servicing. Plus, employee costs are sitting at just 8.6%. It's this vice-like grip on operational expenses that lets all that profit flow straight down to the bottom line. Okay, let's pivot to Section 3. Who owns ITC stock? Breaking down these ownership logs is deeply, deeply revealing. Notice something? The promoters hold exactly 0%. Instead, you've got domestic institutional investors holding over 39% and foreign institutional investors taking up over 34%. Put those together and these massive institutions command nearly 74% of the entire company. Retail traders might spend all day arguing about the daily price action online, but make no mistake, the heavy-hitting mutual funds and foreign investors have firmly planted their flags in this stock. Which brings us to Section 4, the push beyond tobacco. This recent headline completely nails their bold future trajectory. Look, we are not talking about some mild, safe diversification here. This is a monumental pivot. Gunning for an 8 lakh crore fast-moving consumer goods opportunity by 2035 is a paradigm-shifting goal. It perfectly explains why they are aggressively accelerating their footprint in the FMCG sector, leaning hard into AI, and hunting for strategic acquisitions to finally untether their growth story from cigarettes. To actually grab a slice of that massive opportunity, they are making some super aggressive moves on the chessboard. For instance, they're stepping right into the heavily contested cola wars, but they're doing it with a twist, launching Be Natural Coconut Cola. They're betting big that consumers are migrating toward healthier fizzy drinks.
At the exact same time, they're out there scouting for buyouts, like reportedly eyeing DFM Foods, the maker of crack snacks. It's this one-two punch of innovative product launches and strategic buyouts that shows exactly how you scale an FMCG empire.
Finally, let's look at Section 5, what the analysts say.
So, what is the professional consensus right now? It's actually a super fascinating reflection of the broader market's mindset. Out of 35 analysts who actively track ITC, the room is split right down the middle between optimism and caution. We've got 15 analysts calling it a buy or strong buy, and exactly 15 saying you should hold. But here is the real kicker. Only 5 analysts are advising to sell. Think about that. Even with a 30% price drop over the last year, the overwhelming majority of institutional experts believe you should either be buying the dip or locking in what you currently hold. As we wrap up this explainer, let's synthesize everything we just unpacked today. We are looking at a true giant. Massive market cap, incredible operational efficiency with near 40% margins, heavy institutional backing, and an incredibly bold 8 lakh crore vision for the future. So the ultimate question you have to ask yourself as you analyze this titan is this: will this massive pivot toward consumer goods actually redefine their identity and reignite the stock? The groundwork is clearly laid, but as always, the execution is what comes next. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this deep analysis, and remember to always keep your eyes on the data.